G'day, I'm Nathan from Clearlight Saunas. In this video today we're going to show you how to disassemble the Sanctuary Outdoor 5 sauna. So today, since we're doing a disassembly, we're going to be working from the Clearlight manual. So hopefully you have this available, and if not, you can always reach out to our customer care department. They'll shoot a digital copy through to you. Essentially what we're going to do is take reverse steps in order to go through any points that might be pertinent when you're going through this process of packing down or disassembling your sauna, if you have to move house or for any other requirement. So a little inside word, this is the first time I've been through this process, so we've got two of our fully qualified installers taking us through it, and they're going to highlight anything that needs to be known for you or for me without that knowledge base. What we're going to do today is basically take a look at any of the important points you might like to go over. I guess the number one thing is preparation that we'd look at if you're going to go through this process. There's a few things to highlight. For example, it's a 3-person job. So that's essential, particularly for the Outdoor 5 saunas, as they are so large and each of the panels is very heavy. So number one thing today is preparation, I've been informed. So you need to have the right tools ready to go. So what we're talking about is your drill. We've also got a micro screwdriver set for any of our electrical components, and we've got some packing here as well. That's just going to allow us to, well, we'll show you the process where we use that, which is to do with the roof cap. The other thing that's important is when you're taking each panel apart, you need somewhere that you're going to be resting it, and it can't be any more than about a foot from vertical. So if so, there is the danger of them sliding out and damaging the panel. So you want to have your mats or your blankets ready to protect them, and somewhere that you can easily lean up these panels. Step number one, make sure that your sauna is not plugged in. So we're going to go and unplug the main power source. That's the only thing that you need to be worrying about. We're going to remove the roof cap. The start of that process is that there's 4 internal screws, so inside your sauna at each of the corners. They're long screws that hold the roof cap in place. We're going to go and take those out before we take the next step. All right, so we've taken off the roof cap. The next thing that we're going to be moving on to is removing the full spectrum heaters. The same thing comes up and again throughout this process. The key thing is to protect each of the components, either the soft wood on the panels or in this case your full spectrum heaters. So as many mats and blankets and so forth as you can. What we've set up is inside here is a little bit of a mat to protect the heaters as we take them off, and we'll now show you through that process. The next step that makes the most sense is to move on to disconnecting the electricals. They're all up in the roof, so what we've got prepared for that is a working platform, and we're going to be using one of those micro screwdriver sets that we talked about to start with. In order to remove the electricals, the first thing is we're going to need to lift this roof panel, and so what we do is lift, and then this third person involved in the process is going to pack out each of the corners. You need something the same height, but this is going to give us working space to get access to the electricals. So we're onto the front wall. Important things to note about this one is that this is the heaviest panel, and also potentially the most difficult because you've got the door involved in this one, which can swing open. You definitely need the third person in order to hold the door. Also, where you're going to be resting this, you're going to want to have the way in which the door opens away from the way that you're leaning it. If you were having to transport the front panel or the whole thing, then what we're going to do is actually take the door off at the hinges, and then we can carefully store that and remove that risk factor. All right guys, so we're up to steps removing the bench seats. Really important points to note the guys have pointed out to me is everything inside your sauna is delicate. So the things to keep in mind is, one, you've got your ceramic tiles here. While these are obviously sound, you don't want to, just be aware that they are ceramic tiles basically. We don't want to drop anything on them, place heavy corners on them, that sort of thing. They are, I guess, breakable. The other thing is that all of your timbers inside are extremely soft. So as we remove the bench seats, we're going to look out for your seat backs here, these timbers, and also the corners probably can't see this, but there's little corners here where we're going to slide the bench seat out. So I'll show you that process now. So this one and these ones are the ones to be most mindful of. We're going to slide forward gently, lift up from the back here, and then pop out away. Great, so guys, now we've taken off the bench seat and we're moving on to undoing the under-seat wiring that's for your under-seat heaters there. Again, you don't need to be an electrician in order to do this, it's just undoing the cables. Important things to note are not to pull any of the cables from the back, always just hold onto the connectors. This is where you can use your flathead micro screwdriver in order to pop those connections open. Never go through the process in wet weather, otherwise everything internal is of course to be dry and is protected by your roof cap only. Okay guys, so this time we're up to taking off the sidewalls. Important points to note in this stage is how they come off. So essentially it's only a small lift, but the important point here is that there's 3 of you involved. You're going to have 2 people who are lifting the panel, one from this side here, one from inside. An important point is that it needs to be lifted from underneath this section where the heaters are on the wall, not from any higher points, because this is where your structural strength is. And your third person is going to be securing the back wall that you've not yet taken off. All right, so behind me here we have all the components that we've put away. You may have noticed in the last 3 steps of the process, which was the sidewalls and the back panel and the floor, we sort of fuse those together because they do all kind of go hand in hand. In terms of packing everything away, same points we've already covered, but just make sure that you have enough padding for everything to make sure that there's no components touching between the panels. Pay attention to your wiring, making sure you haven't got anything squished between panels or caught underneath what you're sitting it on. Again, you can see we haven't got a huge lean on any of our panels, so there's not any chance of them pushing over what they're leant against or falling over. And make sure you pack away all of your components, your screws and bits and pieces, your full spectrum heaters are all packed away carefully, keep your manual together, and everything should be smooth for you. All right, so there you have it guys, that's the pack down of a Sanctuary outdoor sauna. Thank you for watching. Fairly straightforward. Obviously we were assisted by very experienced people, but if you just follow the steps, it's going to be easy for you. If you don't have a copy of your owner's manual, just reach out to our customer care team. Otherwise there will be a digital link in the description below the video. Overall the process took us about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. The point is, take your time, do it slowly, be careful with all of your components, make sure you don't lose anything. Look, if you'd like any further assistance or if you would like to have the help of our qualified installers, you can reach out to our customer care and they'll be able to help you out with that for a fee. I hope this process was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.